What's up, Jeeple? Welcome back. Today we're gonna go take the hitch off and weld some frame stiffeners on. That's where we're at. Also, I did get the trunk the rest of the way cut out. So we can go take a look at that real quick and then get into taking this hitch off. There you go. No more trunk. Not really any more floorboards. But this hitch, as you can see, is in our way from putting our frame stiffeners on up and under. So we're going to take that off. Our bolts for this hitch, I don't really know what size they're supposed to be, but they are now a 14 and a hammer. Everything's so rusty. Maybe it was a 15 at one point in time, but not anymore. So we're going to take a shower in rust. Now we're going to give her the juice. They like the juice. Come on. There we go. And it snapped. I gave her too much juice. Disappointing. The real problem here wasn't too much juice, it was the wrong kind of juice. We need the Panther. Oh, come on now. We need the... There we go. We need the Panther piss. But we might be out. Come on. Give that kitty some more water. Well, we always got another bottle somewhere. That's not good for the upside downs. That's just good for the all arounds. And here we go. This one's a 19. Oh, it's just gonna spin. I guess we're getting the welder out. Good news and bad news. Good news, that found its way out. Not really quite sure how. Bad news, so did the whole bracket. And the other one snapped. So that's fun. That looks like it should be not terrible to get out, other than it's rusted real bad. It's tomorrow. The bumper's already off. We're gonna finish taking the hitch off, and I started doing a little cardboard-aided design in here. So let's get back to where we left off. I believe that was absolutely hating life on this hitch. Where we were. So that's where we're gonna pick up. I bet it lands on my toe. I really do. Hey! The exhaust caught it. Or maybe we have like a surprise bolt in here. Nope. Well, it landed on my toe. Let's find out what these frame stiffeners look like. Well, maybe it'll help if we cut the box a little while. They're packaged nice. Ooh. I like it. If I'm lucky, the rust hole is going to be like right in the middle of one of these. They're real nice and thick. I believe they're 3/16. And they should fit over a frame if we're lucky. We'll give them a nice quick scuff and then give them some weld-through primer. While that dries, we're going to cut this out and up under here where these holes are and weld in some new steel. We got that stuff cut out over there and over here. This was getting in my way the whole time, so I'm going to eliminate that now. I'm going to throw the flap wheel on and prep this frame, and then we can weld patches in. Maybe not the nicest weld, but pretty continuous at least. It's also pretty rusty and dirty. I ain't cleaned that up at all. I just blew it on there. I want to get done with this. Now that the frame patches are done, here's what they look like. I skipped through grinding all the welds down just because that's a little bit repetitive. And now we're gonna go test fit our frame stiffeners and probably grab some clamps because I already test fitted the other side and it's either bent or the frame's bent. We'll figure it out. So they were sticking out pretty good in here. I mean, they still are. But after throwing some clamps on, they seem to draw it in pretty well. So I think we're gonna blow that on down there first, come up in here, and then move some clamps and draw that in before we end up welding this backside. This is how I'm pushing that little tab up. I got a hammer, a jack, and a screwdriver because I lost the handle. But it seems to push it up there pretty good. I'm gonna try turning it up and see what happens. It would help if the ground was connected. Well, these are not pretty, but they're done. I'm not a welder. I don't know what I am, but not a welder, so. If you remember earlier, we had that jack and that hammer pushing this up. And so to draw this in, I'm putting the sway bar mount back on. And that actually seems to be pulling it up pretty nicely. We have it all welded up and all our welds are ground down. We're gonna go do my least favorite thing ever and seam seal every single crack and cranny. So let's get into it. It's kind of a two-handed operation here, so I'm gonna do one or two on camera and then we'll take a break and we'll come back when it's all done. So really you just kind of glob all this stuff in there. I didn't bring gloves, so I'm gonna see if I can do it with a rag and save my finger, because this stuff really does not like to come off. Just kind of smooth it out, make it nice and pretty, which I don't think I'm gonna do. I'm just trying to get it on there. This ain't about being pretty, this is about being done so I can drive my Jeep again. Here's the last part. It's arguably just as worse as the last one. This is rust bullet. See how I'm wearing a glove? It's because if you get it on your hand, it is not coming off. It just ain't. It isn't gonna happen. You gotta wait till the skin falls off. So, we're gonna go ahead and start putting this on. Does the Tin Man have a sheet metal pecker? I think he does. I usually don't like undercoat because as soon as it gets one chip in it, it's done. It'll let water in, it starts rusting. More water gets in, it starts rusting even more. Lets the water in and doesn't let the water out. Just makes rust. But we have this rust bullet on there, so the undercoat's mostly there just for looks. So we'll go ahead and throw some of that on. If you've been following along, congrats. You now have frame stiffeners on your Jeep. As for me, I still have half a Jeep. Here's your finished product. There you have it, Jeeple. The frame stiffeners are finally on, and that took way longer than even I was expecting. But our next video, whenever I get all this cleaned off of me, should be making and installing rear floor pans for in the trunk. So, stay tuned. We'll catch you on the next one.